What's up guys, this is Yacineygo, and today we're going to be going over the full set of Duelist Advanced to try to figure out which cards are going to have a big impact on the metagame until we get Justice Hunters, but also past the Justice Hunters, and also which cards are going to be worth a little bit of money, and which cards should you be on the lookout for. But before we go any further, friendly reminder of course to smash the like and subscribe button. Really motivates me a lot to keep making videos like these. Check out my Blue Eyes and Crystron spreadsheet. As always, you know the drill. And shout out to my sponsors, Supreme Pro, tsx1.com. Use the coupon code YACIN10 for 10% off. And also, since this is a video on Duelist Advance, if you are interested in any of these cards, you can actually get the singles from my sponsors, CardBrawlers. They do ship internationally. The link will be in the description box below if you're interested. They have their pre-sales, and if you use the coupon code YACIN5, you can get 5% off. With that being said, let's get right into it. Alright, so first things first, we've got this monster right here, this Link 2. It's kind of like not really a Dynamundo, but I mean, it's a Link 2 Cyberse monster that supports rituals. It's like an okay-ish card, but it's not like super insane, so whatever. This Link 2 is going to be completely irrelevant until we get Yummy. Same thing with this fusion monster right here. It's irrelevant until we get Dragon Tail, and there was another one for K9, but it's already relevant, and it is Valon, the Super Sky Blaster. By the way, these are all the commons, and some of the best cards in the set are actually low rarity, which is unheard of. Usually, Konami likes to hoe us and make sure that, you know, all the broken cards are like ultras and secrets, but for once, that is not going to be the case. So Valon, the Sky Blaster, is the most relevant right now out of all the 3 Justice Hunters indirect support cards, because it is a Raisel send target. If this card is sent to the grave, you can target a face down card on the field and destroy it, not destroy that target. So in other words, if you target a face down Contagious Trap and your opponent flips it, it still dies, which is really stupid. And it means that if you play against Raisel, now if you have like a Floodgate, you have to flip it on draw phase or standby. So in other words, this card single-handedly changes the dynamics of the game completely. And since you don't know that your opponent is playing Raisel or not, you always have to flip all of your Floodgates on standby. You can't risk it anymore. This card will really allow, you know, the Raisel deck to beat boards, well, I mean, to beat back row decks going second super easily. And it's just an overall extremely good card against, like, a lot of decks in general. And it also means that the Solemn cards will no longer be played, or at least they're no longer going to be worth playing, because again, Valon the Sky Blaster is just going to destroy them. So you need to play lingering cards such as Dimensional Barrier and Mischief of the Gnomes. I'm going to be making a dedicated video just on that. But Valon is the #1 card that will change Yu-Gi-Oh! Completely when we're going to be getting it. So keep an eye out on this one. Everything else right here is kind of irrelevant. This one right here, it's just like a card that allows your Zeus to have like more materials, I think. No, actually, that is not true at all. Yeah, it's just like, it's like a utility card. It's whatever. Doesn't really do anything. And then this monster is also indirect Yummy support. It's kind of like a Martial Metal Marcher. Pretty cool card. The Psychic support is honestly very disappointing. When I looked at it, I was like, there is no way cards can be this bad. I don't really think anybody's gonna break them because of how like limited they are in terms of what they can do. And also, why would you play Psychic cards outside of Punk? I have no idea. Anyways, Miracle Raven, incredible card, like extremely good. It's good in a bunch of decks. I mean, it's good in Nouvelle, and it's also good in Voice's Voice. It can be good in Mitsurugi, potentially. It can be good in Necros. This is the year of Rituals. Like, Rituals have never been this good because, you know, now all of a sudden Mitsurugi, incredible TCG exclusive, and Necros is getting new support, and you know, Voice's Voice is also, you know, getting back there, so potentially you could really make like this card work. And again, it is a TCG exclusive, so you can really catch people off guard because nobody knows really what to expect, so it can really reward good deck building. Speaking of TCG exclusive, this one right here, Boo the Dawn's Light, another card that I actually think is really good. This is indirect Burning Abyss support. But obviously, with Beatrice being banned, it's not even something that I even wanted to consider because, you know, why would you play BA with no Beatrice in 2025? That's like basically BA back in 2015 almost, like, or basically like 10 years like back. So it's a little sad, but I mean it's pretty cool. It can search Mutiny in the Sky, which is kind of like a weird Fiendsmith sequence in a way. You can summon a bunch of interesting cards with it, like either a Fiend or a Fairy fusion monster, by shuffling back Fiends or Fairies from your graveyard into the deck and extra deck. So yeah, it definitely is a really nice package that you can play in your Fiend stuff. So it's cool, and also it's a monster that you can summon off of Tour Guide if you ever need that. Like I said, the new Nouvelle support, it's not going to change anything, but it's pretty good, pretty cool, so I like it. Testina, whatever, garbage, and obviously it's Testina, so anything that is like Testina or Ashen will always be ass. The Super Quantum support, it's not bad. It is not bad at all. My issue with that is that you're doing a lot. It's very convoluted just to make like the big boss monster. Now, I will say that there are a lot of ways to make it. So the deck is actually quite consistent, shockingly enough, and it can play a pretty respectable amount of non-engine. But the thing is, if you know exactly how to counter the combo, if you know how it works, it's actually really bad all of a sudden. And also, if your deck doesn't lose to like an unaffected by crit effect towers, that is also a mistake, which, to be fair, your deck should probably lose to that. You know, it's gonna be a breeze for you, because that's the only thing that you really have to be afraid of. It's not like Super Quantum is gonna be turboing out like triple Great Magnum or something with like IP and Baguska and stuff like that. No. It is not Lunalight, which is the next deck that is gonna be able to make a lot of towers. So yeah, there's 2 towers decks in this set, and Super Quantum is the less good one. Dark Flare Swordsman, again, another common, but I actually think this card's pretty good. So this is an inherent summon of a level 6 Fire Warrior monster. Obviously, Isolde is no longer a thing, but if it was, this would have been incredible in it. And also, you can tribute it to summon a monster that mentions Flame Swordsman from your deck except a level 6. There is a Flame Swordsman monster that you can summon that is quite good. It's Fighting Flame Swordsman. When discarded, well, whenever that card is a normal or special summon, you can add a spell or trap that mentions Flame Swordsman from your deck to your hand. So you can search Fighting Flame Swordsman, which searches any card from your deck to your hand that mentions Flame Swordsman. And you can also play Flame Swords Realm, which once per turn you can send a monster from your hand or face of field to the grave to summon a Flame Swordsman from your extra deck. So if you play 2 Flame Swordsmen in your extra deck, a 1-card combo, regardless of which one it is, except for the Continuous spell, would be able to translate to 2 monsters on the field. So it's not like it does anything extraordinary, because again, Isolde is banned. But if Isolde ever gets unbanned, I actually think this engine is extremely good, because it's a 1-card combo with like basically no brick. Like the worst card in your deck still summons a level 5 Fire Warrior monster from your extra deck, which is not bad at all. So I think it has long-term potential, but in the short term, like right now, it doesn't really do much of anything. So yeah, keep that in mind. And also, when you inherent summon this card, you're locked under only being able to attack with warrior monsters for the rest of the turn. So again, if you're playing Infernoble or something, it doesn't matter. But since Isolde is banned, I'm not gonna waste any more time on this card. Anyways, new Adignister support is obviously nothing compared to like what we got in Alliance Insight, like Link Slayer Adignister. It is not gonna change much of anything. It's not trash, obviously, but you're definitely not gonna see this being played in Malice, because it's like actual Adignister support. It's not really like generic Cyber's good stuff support. Like, what's his face? It was Wizard and Backup, right? Yeah, anyways, Moon Gardener, I don't care. Moon Magician, yeah, all these cards suck. Leo Wizard, the Dark Fiend is not bad, but I read it wrong, so it's actually less good than I thought. Unfortunate. Yeah, Super Quantum support, pretty good. The Archmage, oh, the Archmage cards, you don't have to read them. Like, you actually just don't. That Archetype is just, like, disappointing. It's not garbage, it's far from bad. Again, I think it's, like, very similar to White Forest in the sense where it started off being, like, not good enough, but it had potential. And all it takes is, like, 1 or 2 more waves of support for the cards to actually make sense. Because right now, the fusion monsters that you can make with the, I think it's this card or something. Yeah, this card is the one that fuses. The fusions are terrible. Like, I don't understand why Konami printed such underpowered fusion monsters, but they just suck. Like, the only reason why you're fusion summoning in the Archmage deck is to trigger the effects of your cards to start setting, like, and this is gonna be recycling back, I think. No, adding an Archmage spell or trap from your deck to your hand. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty good, obviously. And you benefit off of fusion summoning, but like I said, the fusion monsters are shit, so it's a fusion deck that doesn't want to fusion summon. It's really pathetic. But yeah, this card sucks. Garbage. Alright, still Lunalight cards. They're obviously insane. Silverhound, this is the card that you're always trying to Ash against Lunalight, but watch out because they can't chain block. So if you go normal summon Gold Leo, and if you don't Ash it, they can go, okay, search Silverhound, and then discard Silverhound, Chainlink 1 to special summon, Chainlink 2 Gold Leo to recycle back from the graveyard to the hand, and then you pretty much lost your window for Ash, because you might say, oh yeah, but you can Ash the Lunalight Perfume Dancer, but then again, they can't chain block by going Chainlink 1 Perfume Dancer, Chainlink 2 Kaleido Chick to recycle back the polymerization. You probably understand absolutely nothing of what I'm saying if you haven't played Lunalight, but I will be making a Lunalight spreadsheet relatively soon, so keep an eye out on that one, because I think that deck is very, very good, and it's also not being utilized correctly. I keep seeing people who just do stupid things. Like, they have full combo, and they manage to make a worse board, a worse sequencing, and they lose to Nibiru. Like, I just don't get it. It's like, it's the worst of every world. It makes zero sense. Anyways, all these cards probably suck. The Monarch support is actually quite good, but then again, it's Monarch, so it's a deck that most likely isn't winning going second, which is unfortunate. Like I said, Psychic cards, dog shit. All the free agents in the set are really bad, like Spirit Poacher, the card from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, like was it like Hunter that played it? I forgot the name of the guy, but whatever. No, Trapper or something like that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's obviously unplayable, right? What did you expect? Spring, I mean, it looks beautiful. Really takes me back to Japan, even though I've never been there. I'm not reading that, but it's probably shit. Yeah, Lunalight Masquerade is insane. Obviously, Inferno of the Ashen, garbage, whatever. Everything is shit. Alright, for the super rares, this is where it gets a little more interesting. So obviously, Liger Dancer is broken. It has 3,800 attack, and it's unaffected by card effects except for Lunalight cards. So if you're playing in a mirror match, your opponent can break your board by making a Liger Dancer and then destroying all of your monsters. And Liger Dancer will actually die to Liger Dancer, which is very funny. And also, you can use the graveyard effect of a Perfume Dancer to, like, I think, decrease the attack of Liger Dancer by its defense, something like that. So, yeah, it's gonna be super easy to run over it, which is hilarious. But yeah, this card can make 2 attacks per battle phase, and it has 3,800 attacks. So it's 7,600 damage on its own, which is very scary. And it has a quick effect to send a Lunalight monster from the extra deck to the grave to destroy all of the opponent's special summon monsters, very specifically. In other words, if you go set Marshmallow and pass, their only outs are SP Little Knight and Brotherhood of the Fire Fist Tiger King. Those are the only main deck outs. Apart from that, like, they gotta rely on non-engine cards. So yeah, you're definitely in a really good position if you can understand their weaknesses, but then again, nobody can really play Marshmallow other than Tenpai Dragon, which have Pydra, or the Chimera deck, which has Illusion Monsters, which obviously are indestructible by battle. So yeah, that's another thing that if you can take advantage of that, you're gonna be able to, like, win unwinnable games against this deck, because you're gonna make them deck out if they don't have the right cards. The Morganite cards are incredible. Or Morgana the Witch of Eyes is a card that can search any of your Morganite spells, which is nice, obviously. And then it has a bunch of other effects, like negating an attack or making the attack of all of your opponent's monsters to 0, which does matter in a deck where, you know, like, you don't really spam the extra deck or anything. It's really just beat stick. It's like old school Yu-Gi-Oh! So I mean, it's a really cool card. And the Guild Gripping Morganite is a card that really changes the rules of Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, the fact that you can normal summon level 5 or higher monsters without tributing for the rest of the duel is definitely something, because it means that you can start playing, you know, really dangerous cards like Vanity's Ruler, Archlord Christie, a lot of really scary cards. And yeah, shoutouts to my boy Jacob if you're watching this. This deck is actually really nice. So it's like a stun deck. It's kind of like Runic Stun, but Runic Stun loses to Malice because obviously you're banishing your opponent's card, so that works for them. Whereas the Morganite deck, I mean, it can technically beat everything. Like, you go first, if you summon like Archlord Christie or something, it's really hard for anyone to beat that. Like, it really is. It's like a imperm or bust, pretty much. It's kind of scary because all of your chummies, all of your hand shops, they basically just do nothing against this deck. So you really only have like your engine to beat it, but your engine is not beating Christia, so that's the thing. Anyways, the RB TCG exclusive is quite good, but I think it's not enough for like the first wave of support. It's like we still need like more waves. There's definitely potential. It's just that I don't really see this deck synergizing with anything that is really worth playing right now, like Crystron or Sky Striker. It just doesn't really make too much sense because the restriction of the normal spell card that summons from the extra deck is like, it's really massive. I think it's a secret rare. Yeah, I think it's this one. Yeah, there you go. I mean, it's actually a really broken card, but then again, it locks you under machines only from the extra deck that have 1,500 or less attack. Huge turnoff. And in Sky Striker, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, that's fine, they all have 1,500 or less attack. Well, not Zero. Zero has 2,000 attack, if I recall correctly. Let me double check actually, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Sky Striker A0, 2,000 attack, super awkward. You're basically just nullifying the new support that you got, so it really defeats the purpose. Anyways, the Psychic cards, like I said, are shit, so don't even look into them. Vanquish Soul Rocks, not a good card. That's not really... I don't even think that's being played at all in the deck. And then, but you might as well just play it as a one-of, who cares? It doesn't really make you lose anything. But the new Onomat cards. Okay, so Gagaga Genbara Knight. Like I said already, this card, it summons a Gagaga monster from your hand. So it's like, I mean, it also summons itself, obviously. But like, that's the bonus effect, which is not good enough. And also, you can change the battle position of a monster on the field, which matters for like Baguska. Because now it's like, your Baguska doesn't interrupt me anymore, just like a monster that can be targeted or destroyed by card effects, which is not too bad, but it's not enough to like justify this card. And also it forces you to play a Gagaga monster in your extra deck, and the Raisel Gagaga deck is not doing that because Gagaga Girl is useless. Go Goblinberg is pretty good. It's a one-card starter, obviously, but it takes up your normal summon, and you already play Ice Raisel to use your normal summon. So I think this card is not going to be seeing too much play. However, Dodo the Dwarf, Dodo the Warrior is the best one, for sure. And obviously, Go Goblinberg is the second best one. So yeah, this card, it's sending the Dodo the Dwarf Go Glove, and then it revives itself back. Then you make Banshee or Raisel do a drive, and then you get your Raisel engine started from there. It's pretty nice. And you can also detach Dodo the Warrior to search a Zubaba monster. So you can search Zubaba Knight or Warrior, something like that. Yeah, that card right here. And then it also searches a Zubaba monster, so you can search Zubaba Bensho Gagaga Coat. And I think it can summon itself, and then you can make another level 4, whatever. But you're definitely not doing that because it's a really bad sub-archetype. Like, the Zubabas and Gagagas are just, like, not good at all. You're only playing the Dododos and Go-Go-Gos. One thing I will say, though, is that Go-Go-Go Goblinberg searches a Dododo monster when it's detached, and Dododo Warrior searches a Zubabas. So since you're not playing Zubabas, this has a useless effect, whereas this has a useful effect. So just keep that in mind. If you're playing Go Goblinberg, it's not just a tour guide. It's also a card that can search an extender. So it actually it does more than you think, but obviously at the cost of using your normal summon on this instead of Ice Raisel that could special summon, you know, Star Raisel to set the field spell before you search and beat Joel and Logbird and stuff like that. But since you have rank 4, like a rank 4 package that can also summon a rank 4 before you search, you can make dangerous Xyz monsters that I'm not gonna mention all too much because, you know, that's not my job right now. But yeah, I think that's it's a very scary deck for sure. Raisel Gagaga is gonna be probably the best deck when we get it, when we're gonna be getting it in the TCG. I think it's like Raisel Mitsurugi that just doesn't lose to Drool. The new Primite cards, by the way, I forgot to mention them. Primite Fusion and not First of the Dragon Lords, it's another one. There you go, Primite Dragon Neither Berzelius. This card right here is not too bad. I have seen the Primite engine being played in Yummy, and it's kind of cool. But then again, it's also like more bricks, and the fact that this card, you can banish it from the grave to search a level 5 or higher Primite monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand, is just irrelevant, because the best Primite monster, I mean, there's only 2, is obviously either Barrel, and it's not a level 5 or higher, so I think it's like, this card kind of just, it sabotages itself. It's unfortunate. But this card, it can be a huge counter to like Yummy because it has a continuous effect that negates the activated effects of monsters your opponent controls whose level, rank, or link rating is less than or equal to the number of normal monsters in your field and grave. So even if you only have like one normal monster in your field or grave, it can be like one Blue Eyes White Dragon if you're playing Primate Blue Eyes and you play one copy of the field, the fusion spell. The Yummy deck is going to be seriously, you know, getting destroyed by this because their Link 1 is going to be negated, all their level 1 monsters negated, so all they will really have will be their level 2 Synchros, and that's pretty much it. So it's not really good for them, and if you have like 2 Blue Eyes in your grave, then like the whole deck is crippled completely. So I think it's actually a splashable. I mean, not really an engine, it's really just one spell card and one fusion, but it definitely has a lot of potential because it can be a great counter to Yummy. Speaking of counters to Justice Hunter's decks, this card right here, Secretarian Dragon, is a massive counter to Dragon Tail, like an actually nasty one, and it's also playable in Dragon Tail. So it requires a dragon and a spellcaster monster, so in other words, it's the same summoning condition as Mr. on the Dragon Crown, and it's also a retrain of it. And it reads, while you control this fusion summon card, your opponent cannot activate the effects of special summon dragon and spellcaster monsters they control. Clearly, this is an unfair effect, right? Because the Dragon Tail deck is only using dragon and spellcaster monster effects, so obviously if they can't use the effect of any monsters they control, like, they're not playing much Yu-Gi-Oh! So yeah, the Dragon Tail mirror match is going to be ultra cancerous. Whoever wins the dice roll is almost guaranteed to just win the game on the spot. It's really stupid because hand traps are also not really good against this deck. It's kind of like Despia 2.0, whereas Yummy is kind of like, I don't know, I guess purely 2.0, and K9 is like I don't even know what to like compare it to. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but yeah, those 3 decks are obviously going to change everything. So yeah, I think you can look into these cards for sure, but they're not going to be relevant until Justice Hunters comes out. The best card in this set and the main money card is going to be Vanquish Soul Holy Sue. So this is a ultra rare, and once Justice Hunters comes out, because of the fact that K9 works really well in Vanquish Soul, I think it's going to be the best deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because in the OCG, Vanquish Soul K9 is the #1 best deck. And this card right here is really unfair. It allows you to do turn 0 plays, so it can summon itself during either player's main phase by revealing only one other Vanquish Soul monster in your hand, so it's actually insanely easy to trigger, and then it has a lot of nasty effects. So if you reveal an Earth and Dark monster at any moment, quick effect, you can take control of an opponent's monster with the lowest attack until the end phase, and if you reveal a Fire and Dark, you can summon a non-psychic Vanquish Soul monster from your deck. So on turn 0, you can summon Raisel, and then Raisel can search, and then you can go for Heavy Burger to draw a card, you can go for Caesar Valius to destroy a card, and you can do quite a lot, actually. It's really stupid. I'm absolutely not looking forward to that. You can even go for like Dr. Madlove in order to not only search but also reveal to bounce back a card, and then again Caesar Valley. It's really stupid, really stupid. It's basically, it almost feels like Tier Elements 2.0, where you know the opponent's turn is also it's our turn, right? It's so stupid. The communist deck. But yeah, Vanquish Soul Holy Sue, insanely broken card. It's just unfair. And then apart from that, everything else is just kind of underwhelming. Like, I mean, Trapaholic is a cool card, but it's very niche. It's a great card, though. I really like it a lot. It's kind of like a Trap Trick, but less restrictions. But there's also, like, an activation requirement. Like, you gotta target a spell or trap card you control, destroy it. I mean, it's not an activation requirement, but whatever, you get the point. I mean, I guess targeting is, but whatever. But yeah, you gotta destroy, like, one of your own spells and traps. So obviously, if you destroy Cybernetic Overflow, which is played in the best deck of all time, then it's a good thing for you, because then you search with Overflow. Fantastic. So it's basically Cyber Dragon support, right? That's all that matters. But yeah, the Sky Striker spell, it's alright. The Armija cards, nobody cares. And for the secret rares, this is where people are either going to be kind of like disappointed or really happy. So Zeal of Thornia Gorgon is a secret. It's going to be worth a little bit of money. Not too much though, because it's kind of niche. But it's a great card. I have already made a video on it, but in case you didn't know, it points like all the arrows up, and the monsters that are being pointed by this card, that they cannot attack, and their effects are negated. So it actually, they're activated effects. So it's actually almost a board breaker if your opponent doesn't actually place the monsters in the right zones. And then it also gains attack equal to the total original attack of all monsters it points to. So yeah, when you summon your boss monsters, make sure that they are never glued with each other. They're always like on opposite like zones, so column number 1 and 5, so that your opponent doesn't gain attack equal to like both of them, because otherwise you might actually just randomly lose to like a monster that gains like freaking 8,000 attack and then just one-shots you. And also it cannot be destroyed by battle or monster effects while it points to no monsters. So it's actually randomly super annoying for no good reason. It's actually quite a frustrating effect. And also, this card, it affects monsters, it doesn't affect players. It doesn't say players cannot like activate their effects of like whatever. So in other words, monsters that are unaffected by card effects, they obviously won't care about that, but you get the point. And you can also give this card to your opponent in column number 3 and prevent him from summoning monsters at the extra monster zone. So it could actually be a good floodgate against Malice if they can't tribute summon for a Bestial, but it's very gimmicky, and I don't really think that giving monsters to the opponent is easy to do. But yeah, it's a cool card. Sky Striker A0, obviously really good, but it's only really playable in Sky Striker because the way you're summoning this card is clearly not using 2 Sky Striker Ace monsters, but rather by going, you know, normal summon Ray, and then effect summon 0, and 0 can search Engage, and then you can also use Link Cage to, like, get rid of this card so that you can summon, like, Kagari or some shit, and then, you know, recycle back your Engage and stuff like that. The new fusion monsters for Armija, like I said, dog shit. Gaga Girl, it's only playable in Utopia. It's not playable in Raisel Gaga because it doesn't actually bridge your Raisel engine into the Gaga engine, since you need a Zubaba Gaga Go or Dododo monster as material. Otherwise, it does nothing. This card right here, Armage Finmel. This is Waste of Trees. I don't understand why. Well, first of all, I don't understand why it exists. It's literally a one of. Like, it's actually objectively worse than Artmedia Graph Layer. This card is a 3 of. This is a 1 of. I don't understand why the frick this is a secret rare and this is an ultra, but whatever, Konami logic, I guess. Yeah, nothing that I really got to say about this card. Is just disappointing. Lunalight Gold Leo, this is obviously hands down the best Lunalight monster. Hands down. It's a 3 of, it's broken, it's the starter, it does literally everything that you can ask for. On normal or special summon, you can add a Lunalight monster from your deck to your hand, and then you gotta discard a card. The discarding usually it plays against you, but sometimes it's fine because you're discarding Silver Hound, which is a good thing. And then whenever a Lunalight monster is sent to the graveyard while it's in the monster zone, you can recycle back one of those Lunalight monsters. So that also allows you to chain block, as I said. It's a great card. Kaibaman the Legend. Kaibaman the Legend. This card is not a spellcaster tuner, but rather a warrior tuner, which is really stupid. So it's not searchable by Sage. It's searchable by Reinforcement of the Army. So at most, you're playing 4 unsearchable Kaibamans. It's a really shitty card. A lot of people, they kind of like try to see the positive in it, but there's no positive because you gotta play 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon to make this card work. And Blue Eyes White Dragon is not a 3 of. If you play 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon, then you're not taking the game seriously. So obviously you're just playing a casual deck, which is fine. But yeah, Kaibaman the Legend will obviously not be played competitively. The RB stage landing, as I said, is really good, but the drawback is insane. And the Archetype Academic field spell, it has crazy restrictions, crazy drawbacks. In order to use this effect, you gotta discard a spell or trap, and then it also locks you under only being able to summon Archetype monsters and Medias the Pure from outside your extra deck. So from your extra deck, you can technically summon everything, but from your main deck, you can't. So main deck, field, graveyard, hand, etc. So yeah, it kind of clashes with the Fiendsmith engine in a way. I think it's a really awkward card overall. It just, it's not good enough. It could have been like better without making it broken, but now it's just underpowered for no good reason. And that's like the theme of the Archetype cards. It's like way too fair for no reason. It's like the fusion monsters, if you read them, you're gonna be like, oh my god, they look so broken, they look insane. And then when you like take 2 seconds to like really understand what the archetype does, you're gonna be like, what the shit, this is just like, what are you guys doing, Konami? All this to say that the most impactful cards from the new set, and this is important, alright, I hope you're listening. Valon the Skyblaster is probably the #1 most relevant card. And then there's also Lunalight Silverhound, obviously the whole Lunalight support. The cards that are going to be good in the future, such as Uka no Mitsune no Onari, the Star Ham, and then we've got, what else? I guess, obviously, like I said, the other Lunalight cards, no shit, Go Goblinberg, and then Dododo Warrior. Obviously, these cards are huge. This card, Secretarian Dragon, this is obviously going to be insane in the future. Primite cards are going to be fine. And then Vanquish Soul Holy Sue, actually, never mind. I take that back. Vanquish Soul Holy Sue is the true #1 best card of the set. The #2 is going to be Valon. And then, obviously, for the secrets, practically everything other than Zilophonia Gorgon, Sky Striker A0, and Gold Leo is good. Like, these are the only 3 good secret rares. Everything else is, like, mediocre. Mediocre, like, good, but like not good enough, like RB stage landing, for example, because it's really good in a deck that isn't good, if you understand what I'm trying to say. But it's not that it's not good, it's just that it's incomplete. So yeah, just to make myself a little more clear. And then yeah, the ultra rares, like I said, I've already went over them. Super rares, not much to go, yeah, not much to explain. I guess the Morganite cards are really cool. Apart from that, a lot of shit cards. The Monarch cards are not really gonna have like an impact on the game. And then this card right here, I've made a video on it, whatever. First of the Dragon Lords, completely irrelevant, who cares? But it's actually quite annoying to deal with if you don't really have the out. But whatever, it's not going to be an issue for you if you're good at the game. Nouvelle support, whatever. Artemisia, who cares? Super Quantum, who cares? Testina, Ashen, dog shit, blah blah blah. Psychic, shit. And Leo, the garbage, garbage. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know how you feel about Duelist Advanced in the comment section below. Are you hyped for this deck? I really want to see and hear what you guys have to say about it. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.